victory in that stretch, but stayed busy, stayed active.
Had no easy fights in those 5 fights. Every one of them prospects and contenders. Some of them champions.
And that streak continues now with Diego Lopes, who's right there trying to get the call from Dana.
You'll see Kenn Glenn, he doesn't ever overswing. He won't come forward too much. I mean, he's very measured and very technical.
Yeah, Kenn Glenn's a very disciplined fighter. He's disciplined in his life. He's disciplined in the cage. He's disciplined everywhere he goes and everything he does. So you're going to see things that are very technical and almost perfect.
Yeah, Diego Lopes, though, he threw that power side, that rear side kick to Kenn Glenn's body, and it made a thud.
Diego Lopes really comfortable standing, striking. Obviously a masterful Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu player. Trains a lot of UFC guys as well as their coach.
Diego Lopes, he's very sharp with that straight right hand. As soon as Kenn Glenn steps in, Lopes steps in himself and throws that 2 right down the pipe.
Yeah, Diego, both these guys using this first round to kind of feel each other out.
Kenn Glenn landed a decent left hand there, and I'll tell you, Lopes is throwing those rear side kicks, and his foot and shin's connecting on the knee and shin of Kenn Glenn. That's going to do some damage to the kicker in Diego Lopes.
You already see it kind of getting red there, right above that foot.
Yeah, it's swollen. Good eye there, Raheel. You saw Anderson Silva's break his shin against Chris Weidman. You saw Chris Weidman break his shin against Uriah Hall. Tyrone Spong, one of the best kickboxers, broke his shin one time. Southpaw Orthodox throwing that rear leg kick and it getting checked.
Most recently, some Irishman.
Big right hand there from Diego Lopes. Yeah, Connor as well, that's right.
And Diego Lopes hasn't thrown that kick since that last impact. You could just hear it didn't sound right.
I mean, yeah, his foot's got a bit of swelling on it. Big uppercut there from Diego Lopes. Kenn Glenn not only shoots to react, but lands a counter punch of his own.
Kenn Glenn right back up, regrouping. Beautiful striking there from Lopes.
Yeah, and beautiful counter right back from Kenn Glenn. That's the thing about Diego is that I've noticed is there is a formula for him. There is a formula. There is some stuff that people can do. There is there's some ways to knock him, to get him out of his game. And Nate Richardson showed that in the last fight. And Kenn Glenn and Nate Richardson not exactly the same kind of fighter, but Kenn Glenn can land one of those big shots. Can kind of take Diego out of his game by landing some of those big shots that Diego not afraid to take chances for sure. And whenever you fight like that, you always leave yourself susceptible to take a shot like he just did there with that big left hand.
Yeah, Diego is looking to counter with some power though.
Diego being a little bit more selective now.
Yeah, I'm watching the foot placement and weight distribution on the rear right foot there of Diego Lopes, and he seems to be moving well. He's still bouncing. He's up on the ball of his foot. I think that damage may be superficial.
It's superficial today. He'll definitely feel it tomorrow.
Superficial right now, actually. Right after this fight, he'll probably be feeling it.
125 left in the first round.
Ooh. Both guys taking shots there.
Diego Lopes is landing the cleaner shots, but he's coming in, and Kenn Glenn's planting his feet and firing back.
As we mentioned, hard to get a finish against Kenn Glenn. So tough.
Yeah, Kenn Glenn with his last loss against Arup Gagosian, kind of grinded him out for 3 rounds.
You see Diego Lopes switches his stance. You can tell he enjoys throwing the kicks. I mean, his punches are great. But he switched his stance so he can start to hack out the lead leg there of Kenn Glenn. So he's like, all right, fine, I'll go southpaw. So I can attack that lead leg. The checks are still bad, but they're not as bad as the rear side to lead side.
Man, we're getting some violent punches being thrown in those flurry exchanges for both guys.
Yeah, both these guys throwing with bad intentions right now. The hands and the feet.
I think I'm the only one that throws punches with good intentions.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So we near the end of the first round. Moments of ooh, and
Good first round. I mean, I'm literally on the edge of my seat. Any one strike can put these guys lights out from either guy.
Man, that is a stressful first round. All three of us are like just waiting.
Oh, man.
Just to see who's going to make that first mistake between these two talented fighters.
I mean, that was a competitive round, good round. I think Diego Lopes landed the cleaner shots. He at least got the better reactions when he landed. Kenn Glenn, he met the mark. I mean, you see Kenn landing a straight left there. See Diego landing a straight right there.
Yeah, and we saw this before, Alex. You know, the further you take Diego Lopes, the more likely you are to start landing more punches, the more likely you are to start doing damage. I think Diego Lopes won that round because of that exchange right there where he dropped Kenn, but Kenn came right back up and landed a punch of his own. But nevertheless, that knockdown is going to count for points where, you know, Kenn will get points for the contact, but not for the knockdown.
Mike Beltran just checking in. So we get back into the action here. Just checking in on Kenn Glenn, make sure everything is good. Both fighters ready for this second round.
The shin and foot of Diego Lopes has not grown in volume with the swelling. I think he's just fine. You see him back in the orthodox stance, and he goes right back to that right kick, this time to the body.
Ooh, Diego with a nice right hand there.
A right hand counter, yeah, that's how he hit the uppercut, that's how he hit the right hook. I mean, he's doing good with that rear side power shot.
We're so ready to see Diego on the ground, see how he's going to match up with Kenn Glenn, but man, both fighters content with just keeping it standing up and showing what they have.
Man, I don't think this fight's going to the ground.
No. Plus, I'll be honest, Kenn Glenn, he's not easy to hold down. He's not easy to take down. Definitely not easy to hold down. Oh, big combination there from Diego Lopes. That left hook meets the mark.
Yeah,
Just snuck in.
Kenn Glenn, a black belt himself.
Only if I can leave early.
Wanted to see that showdown, but man, I'll take this because this has been a fun fight so far. Both guys just waiting for that one mistake from the other.
Yeah, and again, the longer this fight goes, and especially, and I'm even, as I'm watching, the longer this fight goes, I just see that it works in Kenn Glenn's favor. It just seems to. Diego has stalled his flurries a little bit. He's still landing, but he's stalled a little bit, almost like he's so good he's not expecting his fights to go past the first round or very shallow into the second.
Big right hand. He's definitely a little less active, but he's still throwing some heat on his shots. I think he's struggling to cover the distance to find Kenn Glenn's face relative to the end of his punches. Kenn's moving out really well. He's crashing the distance in really well. I've always noticed that from Kenn Glenn. I guarantee you he's a very frustrating and very challenging guy to fight. It's hard to find opening against him. See, like right there, Diego Lopes, he throws that low kick, but his foot hit the shin of Kenn Glenn. I'm telling you, he's going to damage his foot more than he's going to damage Kenn Glenn's shin.
Something to watch out for in the second round. 2:50 left. Diego Lopes trying to get that win, that coveted win that could maybe propel him to the UFC.
Oh, nice shot.
Good right hander from Diego. Kenn had landed a really good step in left hand though right before that.
Diego Lopes was 18-3 when he got the call for the Contender Series, lost his fight. Working his way back up. Kenn Glenn has been so good so far. 10-8.
Yeah, a lot of split decision wins and losses from Kenn Glenn. You can see because he's such a good neutralizer. And it's not boring. That's the best part about Kenn Glenn's neutralization style. It's fun to watch because he mostly just keeps it on the feet and likes to collide with strikes.
Yeah, and this is exactly the way the Lavelle Simpson fight was going. Lavelle looked very relaxed. Lavelle looked like he wasn't that interested. And Kenn Glenn just slept him with one punch, one overhand right.
And you saw Diego Lopes, he landed a really good high kick, threw a good high kick. It kind of met the guard of Kenn Glenn. But then he goes back to that rear right leg to the inside of Kenn Glenn's lead left leg. I'm sorry, Kenn Glenn's lead right leg. And that one met the mark. Hit him right above the knee, softened up that inside tissue there on the quad. That'll limit some explosive mobility here from Kenn Glenn. Keeps getting that leg kick.
1:15 left in the second round. The fighter like Kenn, Alex, as you mentioned, so tough to figure out. Just shows you his work ethic, his experience, a 36-year-old, just constantly adjusting.
Yeah, still a great athlete, still moves very, very well, still has heavy hands.
Good setup to that overhand right there from Diego Lopes. He jabbed high, jabbed low, and then came over the top with an overhand right as Kenn Glenn was circling to that power side.
Alex, how much does that play into your mind whenever you're right on the verge, whenever you're a highly touted prospect, and you're right on the verge of being in the UFC? Is it get frustrating, and do you change your fight style at this point of the fight? Does it become something that actually enters your mind?
No, only because I think Diego Lopes is really, inside his own head on trying to figure out how to do some damage. I mean, you see him switch stances again back to a southpaw stance, and he's really hammering out that conventional low kick. Throws it up high.
Just trying to find something as Lopes, 10 seconds left. Second round.
And it's not like Lopes is not taking risks or cruising to a victory. I mean, he's looking for openings. He's forcing the action, and it's making for a really fun fight.
See the respect between both guys. They know that it's going to be tough to figure the other one out because this is high level MMA. You see the highlights here. That kick just barely missing from Lopes.
Good left hook there from Lopes.
Yeah, and you see Charles Cheeks Kenn Glenn, every time he comes off of a flurry from Diego Lopes, he jumps right back in the pocket to try to pass out his own.
Yep.
We saw that quick look at that kick that just checked on the shin of Glenn, Alex. And you're right, man. It's not connecting anywhere fun.
No.
That overhand 1-2, trying to go in for those knees, but Glenn's so good at just moving and changing different angles for Lopes to not get anything, any kind of damage in there. So we go to the final round between Diego Lopes and Kenn Glenn.
Even in the corner and before the round starts, there's no wasted movement or energy from Kenn Glenn. I do believe Diego Lopes is ahead in this fight as he's attacking more. But again, it's anyone. I mean, it's a narrow fight.
You're as good as Kenn Glenn has been in just changing up everything and making it hard for Lopes to connect with much. Lopes has been really good as well in getting out of the way from some of those heavy punches from Kenn Glenn.
Yeah, this is two highly skilled fighters. You can, even though their records are different, I mean, these are two highly skilled fighters who have been in some wars, and you can tell.
Lopes, Glenn.
Glenn landed a good straight left there a second ago, too. He's hit it a couple times in this fight. Oh, big uppercut there from Diego Lopes. I think that's what Lopes needs. He needs to make it ugly. He almost needs to make it a brawl. Just naturally keep good defense. But, I mean, that's way easier said than done. I mean, that's the most dangerous aspect of this fight is stepping into the pocket while throwing punches.
Good body shot there from Lopes. It's a 150-pound catchweight fight. Diego
Yes.
Lopes.
Stepping into that pocket, Alex, is really, really dangerous whenever, because even in, halfway through the third round or, a little less than halfway through the third round here, Kenn Glenn is still throwing bombs. He's still throwing hard.
And he's tight when he does it.
A lot of power coming from Kenn Glenn. As Diego Lopes gets closer and closer, Lopes just trying to calculate that flurry, see how he can get in there, maybe catch another left. It's so hard.
Stepping right out with her from Diego Lopes. And Diego Lopes, he's kind of slipped through the cracks. I mean, yeah, he had his chance on Contender, but I mean, he's a good high-level fighter. He belongs in there fighting other high-level fighters. Notice Lopes switched his stance back to southpaw. I guarantee you're going to see that low kick coming. The first shot of the fight.
Yeah.
Kenn Glenn initiating. I wouldn't have seen that coming.
Yeah, and Diego Lopes doing a little bit of what you said there, Alex, trying to make this a little bit dirty, trying to do a little bit of dirty boxing while his leg was elevated from Kenn Glenn.
Notice Kenn Glenn, he'll fade away, he'll slip just out of range as soon as Diego comes forward with punch.
Yeah, and then wait for that. As soon as that fist passes, he's right back in the pocket throwing punches.
See, that was better for Diego. He threw 3 that time instead of just 1 or even 2.
Try to get it at the exit too, which try to connect a little bit, try to get some kind of damage. Nice.
See,
combo.
again, same thing. It's the 3rd punch that's doing the best damage there for Diego Lopes. But Mike, like you were saying, Kenn Glenn is immediate to fire back. He does not get hit without returning 1 back.
145 left in this fight.
I'd love to see the punch stats on this. I wonder just how even they are. Especially here in the 3rd round. Nice body shot from Diego Lopes.
Both guys just bringing it, showing no signs of getting tired, showing no signs of wearing down in an already grueling fight.
Falling off the glove.
Just under 90 seconds left. I think this 3rd round is the closest of all the rounds. It really could be anyone's round with a decent flurry.
Got him in the eye.
Nice showcasing of the jab there from Lopes. A little jab for jab here now.
Yeah, nice little body shot from the left there from Kenn Glenn.
I think if Diego Lopes wants to put a stamp on this victory, he needs to really come forward and get some volume going. There he goes with the 1-1-2. Oh, nice high kick
Just when he was going to kick him.
into an attempted flying knee. Is he going to give up a takedown? He is not. Kenn Glenn lets go of the leg and clubs the right hand over the top.
Didn't even attempt. He said, you know what? Good, we stopped the flurry. Let's get back into this, guys. Let's just keep it right here. Which we're thankful for because we get a lot more action.
I would be shocked if the last 15 seconds of this fight are not throwing the bomb.
That level rocked him.
that is it.
Knockout. And he put him out with 20 seconds left in the 1st round. Diego Lopes with a highlight reel knockout. He finally found it at the very end of the fight.
Diego finally wins that war of attrition. Both guys taking punches, but Diego finally lands the final one.
Man, let's see that highlight. I'm curious what punch number in that combination put Glenn away. I think it was that left hook, that 3rd punch that rocked him, and then he jumped on him like his life depended on it.
Yeah, I think it was the 3rd punch. I think it was late in that flurry. There's a big left hand right there.
Hook,
and then
uppercut.
uppercut.
Douche. Man, a right hand right on the chin.
A huge knockout for Diego Lopes, the right that could send him to the UFC. And if it doesn't, man.
Man, talk about being patient. He does not have much time left. 20 seconds in this fight. And man, gets a stone cold knockout finish. 20th win for Diego Lopes.
And you see, Alex, after he finished that flurry, after Kenn Glenn threw a punch, you see him, he comes back, he was very, very focused, was able to land that right hand right on the chin, a couple of punches on the ground, and that was it.
Just one mistake there from Kenn Glenn, and that's what Diego Lopes was waiting for to get that signature win again, to get that moment.
You see the left hand right there. Kenn Glenn's going to throw a right hand here to try to flurry, and then boom, right on the chin.
The beautiful uppercut across after he had him rocked. Right hook, left hook, right on the temple. Kenn Glenn visibly dazed. And you see Lopes uppercut, hook, right hand, right on the button. Boom, puts him out. A couple hammer fists just to secure that victory. A couple nails in the coffin. Huge win for Diego Lopes.
All right, we go in. Hey, there's another bump box giveaway. Bump box getting a lot of love today, which is good for us because that means we get a lot of huge wins. Yep, knockouts is what we want. And we'll go inside to Wayne Leggett in just a second to make this official.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Mike Beltran calls for a stop to the action. 4 minutes, 39 seconds into round number 3. Declaring your winner by TKO, Diego Lopes. Oh, correction, by knockout.